What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Combat Corporation, your source for combat sports. I'm your host, Al the Postmaster Morrow, and today I have another unboxing video. So with that said, let's test out this new setup and let's get to unboxing some new MMA sparring gloves. Alright folks, as always, I'm incredibly excited to bring you yet another video. As today, I have another unboxing for you today. I have 5 new pairs of MMA sparring gloves in both of these boxes. I have 3 pairs of official UFC branded MMA sparring gloves, which has been highly requested by a lot of subscribers and a ton of people at my gym too that use the official UFC branded gear. They asked if I ever use it. I never really went for it because I always figured it'd be kind of cheap, because if they're anything like the UFC fight gloves, I didn't think they'd be that great, but I do see a lot more people using them, not just like in gyms, but in the UFC in general. You also see a lot of the guys on The Ultimate Fighter use this equipment. Obviously they have to because they're training at the Apex. Then I have a very highly requested United Kingdom, actually I believe these are based in the United Kingdom. These are Phantom Athletics. I got 2 different pairs of MMA sparring gloves on the inside of these. And as you can tell that we have a different layout on the channel here right now, because if you saw my post from yesterday, I basically built a shelf over the weekend for my collection, and I had to do that because if I take these off to the side here, you can see this shelf here, and I basically had a ton of these lined up against one wall. The only thing is I had to bolt them into the wall. They would break very easily because they are just basically cheap aluminum and plastic brackets, and this one is even just a makeshift with all the ones that weren't broken that are still bent. So I think I can fit all my mitts honestly on this shelf towards the top in the back corner. I have some more room, which is good. But in general, I never built anything with my hands like this before, and I remember looking at my wife and saying, I'm going to Lowe's and getting stuff for a shelf, and she's like, when have you ever built a shelf or anything with your hands? I can hardly put a towel rack into a wall in our house, let alone build a shelf. All I did was follow a very simple YouTube video, and I was able to make these, and I tell you what, it may look ugly, rough, and rugged like the person that built it, but at the end of the day, it's holding well over 400 pounds worth of gloves right now, both boxing and MMA sparring gloves and MMA fight gloves. I had some pieces of headgear and shin guards. I even got my coach's vest on there, but everything is fit perfectly. All I gotta do is probably just paint it to make it look nice. And the cool part is it cost me about 120 bucks for all the material, for the OSB, the 2x4s. I didn't use anything expensive, and my goal is, if I ever move into a bigger house, because I kind of live in a double wide right now, it was a really good deal. I won't go into that, but basically, we basically remodeled a double wide, and when we eventually do want to move into a bigger house one day, I'm probably not even going to try and take this apart and move it into a new house. I'm just probably going to cut it down and burn it because it was so inexpensive, and by the time I move out of here, it'll probably be another couple of years from now, and I think I will have got about $110 worth. So we're messing with some new camera angles. I personally like how it sweeps in. You can see some of the gloves up here. I wasn't able to really shoot it directly at me, primarily because when it comes to that, this shelf is about 2 feet off the wall instead of 1, and then my desk is about 2 feet off the wall because it's a really big desk. And I just basically don't have room to fit in between them. So I'm actually shooting it this way, and it's nice because all those shelves used to block my window, and now I have some natural sunlight coming in. So I hope that makes the video look good. But I know you clicked on this video for the unboxing, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm thinking, because there are 2 gloves in this one and 3 gloves in this one, I'm going to start with the one that has the greater amount. I'm going to go with the 3 UFC gloves first, and then we'll go into the Phantom Athletics gloves. So let's go ahead and start unboxing these. There we go. I can always rip something open. There we go. All right. They all come in bags like this, similar to the UFC fight gloves as well. Now, I did not get these off the UFC's website. I got these off Spirit Combat Sports, which is the official retailer for the UFC. They're actually the ones that distribute everything. I guess we'll start with a lower quality one, which would be the UFC, and they all say Ultimate Combat on it. I thought that was the name of the actual UFC fight glove, but I guess not. Do they all say? Oh, they all say Ultimate Combat. Okay, so I guess the line in general must be Ultimate Combat. And these were about 30 bucks. I think they go for 30 to 40 anywhere. And like I said, I got the red ones because 4 of my teammates use these. My teammate Ja and Rich use these. And they fell apart pretty, wow, that's hard. They fell apart pretty quick, honestly. But like I said, no one at my gym really takes care of their equipment like I do. I don't know why, but they definitely are going to have a break-in period. It feels like not even IMF Tech foam like a lot of other MMA sparring gloves use. It feels like a slab of like EVA foam, which is like the same stuff that they use in their fight gloves, EVA and gel. Though I don't think it really has gel in it. It just feels like really hard bag mitt padding. I'm not even gonna lie, which, to be honest, that's not really a good sign. The details on the back that it says here, which is cool that it tells you all that. Yep, I was right. Okay, so open palm design, comfortable finger compartments, 1 inch of EVA foam protection in striking area, secure a hook and loop closure, and durable engineered synthetic leather. Okay, so, and it is a UFC official licensed product, and you can tell that by the back. USA Spirit Manufacturing Inc. It's the same stuff they'll say if you go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get their stuff. But like I said, I was right on the money with the EVA foam. You can see that right on the back. The outer shell feels like a cheap vinyl, like virtually every other glove in this price range would. And the interior lining is actually pretty soft. I won't lie. The interior lining feels good. The glove on for the first time. The finger slits are definitely a little stiff here, but it's not necessarily a tight fit. It's just this glove needs to be broken in big time. And they don't feel the worst compared to some other gloves that I've tried. And what's cool is the 2-finger rule. I still have tons of room to put wraps on the inside of this, and that fits really comfortably. So I mean, just by moving and opening and closing my hand already, it does feel like it is molding to my hand a little bit. So I don't think this is going to be the worst break-in process, but I can tell that really no matter what you do with these gloves, they are going to be a little bit more stiff than the other ones out there, though they are very, very light. Okay, so these say MMA safety glove. One kid at our gym that got these like a month ago, and he said he's loving them so far. These feel softer actually right off the bat than his did. Feels like it is EVA foam, but you can feel that it's a little bit softer. You can see it can crease in a little bit easier too. It has a really nice leather scent to it. Looking at the shape of the glove, you can see that it's a little bit flatter and not as curved as the other glove. You can see that nice UFC logo going there. It has cool little breathe holes at the bottom, like a little like tricot looking feel to it, which is interesting. The interior lining feels kind of the same as the last one, but the fingers also have that same tricot breathe type thing going on there, and I don't know why. I don't know why they have all the little pinholes all over the place. Now that's stiff. Oh, that's weird. I don't like that. Oh, get in there. Okay. And unnaturally stiff, let me tell you. Oh my God. So closing my fist right here is like trying to squeeze a resistance weight, is the easy way to word it. Like my hands are, and like no joke, I usually say it's not the design. I'm trying to rest my fingers like this so you can see, but look how much this flares out, and you don't want that for any type of MMA glove, fight glove, or sparring glove, you know, in general. And it feels like these knuckles are going to hit before, and just making a natural fist in the pro safety gloves right now does not feel natural. I think you're going to have to really like stretch out the fingers a lot. That is uncomfortable. Right now, the vibe I'm getting from anything that the UFC is making, as far as equipment goes, getting it off is a pain too, is that it's just incredibly stiff. Come on. That's frustrating. I don't like that. Okay, so the last ones you might have seen on The Ultimate Fighter before in the last few years. These are just the regular MMA Pro sparring gloves that you have here. I'm excited to unbox these. So it is a little bit smaller in profile compared to the Combat Sport Max Strike right off the bat. The interior lining, for one, looks cool. I like the little designs. Kind of looks like Cage Link's fence, kind of like an octagon. It looks like a slightly rounded version of the glove I just unboxed. So, I mean, I don't want to say I feel ripped off yet. I don't know, because it was more expensive. But right off the bat, here's the difference. It's not a Y strap. It unloops like that, which is cool. I got the gray design as well. Leather smells exactly like the other leather from the other glove too. But, okay, that's good. That's an improvement right off the bat. So these gloves feel a lot more natural right off the bat. I'm able to actually close my fist really easy, and you got that bar on the back. If I were to really compare these, let's see, to what I think they're trying to copy, they're actually doing a pretty good job. This glove is a little bit smaller, which I could see would allow easier grappling, but at the end of the day, the all reliable in most combat sports gyms that you're going to see for MMA sparring gloves is the Combat Sport Max Strikes. These feel pretty good. The padding is very soft right off the bat, and this is definitely more, it says impact dispersion foam, which usually means IMF Tech, which is what a lot of brands use, which is just injected molded foaming, and that's basically what you're having going on there. But honestly, if it were up to me, I'd say I would just get rid of the Pro Safety and the stiffness of those fingers and just stick with these, because these feel pretty good so far. But those are the UFC gloves. Let's go into the Phantom Athletics gloves. There we go. Okay, so there's no like protective wrapping on the inside right off the bat. And we can take out, these are the Apex. And then these are the Riot Pros. But these are the Apex. So these are one of the more popular pairs. Go ahead and take these out of the wrapping here. It is a pretty standard vinyl that you'd get. And right now it feels just like the Combat Sports MMA Sparring Glove. Or the not Combat Sports, the Combat Corner MMA Sparring Glove. They have a long wrist strap. And they actually have an elastic strap that you can open. Now, sometimes I hate these and I flat out cut them off. The interior lining feels just like the UFC gloves I was just talking about. But when we go ahead, slide that on, you can see these have an overly pronounced cupping for the fingers to stop eye pokes, which is good. Slide that on. Nice. So that's actually a pretty good fist to make there. I do like that. And oh, it's limited edition. I didn't know that. It says that right in there. It says limited edition right there on that strap. Very soft padding right off the bat, and it feels just like every other MMA sparring glove padding. That same IMF foam that you're going to get, the one solid mold foam, which is always good for protection of the knuckles, good for the back of the wrist. Very soft in general. The glove is incredibly soft. I will say that. The padding is soft on the knuckles, on the back of the wrist, the thumb. It's all very, very soft padding, which I like. Intricate design, especially for a glove that's only like 55 bucks. The standard Apex model is like 35 to 40. I definitely paid 15 bucks for the extra design, but really I didn't want a solid black, blue, or green glove. Compared to this, I wanted a cool design. But like I said, if I could go back and get the military model, I definitely would have. But these feel really good right off the bat. I can definitely tell that I'm going to be able to grapple pretty good with these. But striking, I'm going to be very excited to see how these really protect my hand, because they feel really supportive right off the bat. Okay, so they come in this nice fancy mesh bag again, which is cool. That's a really unique feel. I've never seen that. You can see that you got like a split here. That's leather. The padding is a little stiffer compared to the other one. But down here, you see this? It's not sublimated in. This is actually like a gritted feeling to it. It feels like a grate, which is kind of cool. The interior lining is very soft, and it has like a nice smooth line texture to it. And let's see. Put my fingers in. That is stiff. But it's very stiff around the fingers and the grip bar, which is not good, so I don't like that. But I'm able to open and close my hands pretty good. My pinky, like a lot of other MMA sparring gloves out there, I have that issue with my fingers are short. My palms and hands themselves are big, but my fingers are short. My pinky cannot protrude out that much, so I got really grip in there so I can get that out and through, but then these knuckles are a little bit more exposed. Padding's very... it's actually pretty soft towards like where you're going to punch, but going back farther down the knuckle and the wrist, it gets a little bit more firm, which is typical because you kind of want that to protect your wrist a little bit more. Honestly, I prefer the Apex, the cheaper model off the bat, but that, like I said, unboxing compared to what you have now, completely different story. So with that said, I'm excited to try these like I was excited to try everything else I just unboxed today, but I will say that nothing overly blew me away. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about the gloves I just unboxed, please comment below and let me know if you like the camera angle here. I actually like how it looks. Like I said, I'm going to see if I can get rid of this shelf too, put everything on this shelf on top of this one up here as well. I think that would make the gloves look very nice in general too, and that way I wouldn't have this thing just randomly sitting there and I could just have a whole open wall, which would be nice. Maybe I can hang pictures up. But guys, thank you so much. We hit 9,000 subscribers just the other day, and that could not happen without you, and everything on this channel I owe to you guys. So thank you so much for being a supporter of your source for combat sports. I've been your host, Al the Postmaster Tomorrow, and as always, I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.